people are trying and beginning to take their life in their own hands and wrest it out of the hands of the purveyors of injustice in the world and make it their own.
Well, this
It
is
takes time and effort, but man must realize it just doesn't come on a plate.
right.
It has to be worked for, aimed at and worked for. And many in the Middle East are dying for it now.
Well, this has been, I know we're running over time. This has been an absolute incredible interview and really an awakening for a lot of people. And I'm going to be playing this more than once on our network. This is going to be a continuous loop, I think, because I think the message is just that important.
Yep, I agree.
So, Benjamin, I really appreciate you coming on, and best of everything to you. And I know for a fact the way this network was built, we as a community here will carry on the words of the Masters and Maitreya.
Sure.
Because that's what this network is built on, is awakening and spirituality and the goodness of other people. And so we will do our best to carry on that mission for you.
Thank you, and God bless you.
And God bless you too, sir.
And I have to say this, I have to thank you for choosing to open on the day that you opened so that we have this opportunity to hear these messages and feel that truth that comes from you.
It's my pleasure.
God bless you.
It's always a pleasure, Benjamin. Thank you very much for coming on, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, and we'll have you on again too, because I know there's more messages out there. So I'll bring you back on, and we'll continue on with more messages.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What a great man.
Wow. Wow. You feel the truth that emanates from him. You just feel it. I was crying.
I know. Isn't it amazing? He exudes peace. He exudes harmony.
And faith. And
faith.
There's like that belief, that it's going to be okay.
Because everybody was saying, this is the end of the world. We'll never get there. We're going to hell in a handbasket, as I said. There's no coming out of this. How are we ever going to recoup what we've already lost? But as we know now, Maitreya's message is we haven't lost.
Exactly.
Humanity will not give up. Humanity will continue, and humanity will thrive. I mean, I can't wait for the day that Maitreya opens up and lets us know who he is, because he's, as I said to you a little bit ago in our private chat, that many think it's the Dalai Lama. Many thought it was John F. Kennedy. Many thought it was the Pope. And from all indication, what Mr. Creme has said, he's just a normal man living a very humble, normal life.
And I believe that if you can imagine this, I believe that he was all of those men.
I do too.
Or those men spoke through those men. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? All these great and wonderful leaders that have emanated the idea of peace and contentment in our lives and happiness. I think that each of these men spoke his words.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much that this information has brought out. And I know he didn't give any of his websites. Now, you have to remember that this man is 90 years old.
Wow.
when I interviewed him a couple years ago, shortly after that, he became very, very, very ill, and I'd received reports from his publicists here in the States that they didn't think that he would be able to survive the illness that he had. And if he did, and again, I don't remember what this illness was. And if he survived this illness, that he would never be able to do an interview again. And last summer I was going to interview him, and they had to postpone that because of an illness. And for a man of his advanced age, and he was saying before we went on air that, you know, he's lost some of his memory and he's lost some of his wit. I didn't see that in any of this.
He still shared his wit.
Oh my gosh. And
we call English.
What you guys call English. I know he teased us about that before because we had our Minnesota accent, and he said, I don't know why you call that English.
Because it works for us.
It works for us. But for a man to find this mission in 1959, when he was a young man.
Yes.
And, you know, he was just a guy who was painting, and he was kind of I consider him a philosopher in many, many ways. Mm-hmm. He never considered himself a philosopher. But the words that he speaks, and I swear that during this interview, he wasn't only speaking for himself, but I think he was channeling. I think he was channeling his master.
I agree. He was channeling.
You know, just by the way he was speaking, and the way the words came out, and the eloquence of them, and the message of it. And what floors me is that people don't understand that this message is so simple.
Yes.
There's nothing complex about the message that Maitreya or the Masters speak. Now, whether you believe that Maitreya is Christ or God, Maitreya has never portrayed himself or identified himself as
anything
Christ,
other than just Maitreya.
Maitreya. And he said in the other interview that he will never proclaim himself as Christ because there was only one man named Jesus. And Christ was a label that was put on him by his followers.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be the only one who will ever have that name. Everybody else will go by their given name, whether they are labeled as the masters, whether they are labeled as the apostles, whether they are labeled as spirit guides. To me, they're all the same.
Yes.
They all come from that same thread.
We're from the same source.
Yes. And that one source leads to where? God.
Yeah, exactly.
For whatever word you want to call that, you know, whether you want to call a Buddha, whether you want to call, you know, whatever your religious belief is or what your spiritual belief is, whoever your master is, that's the common thread, and it all leads to one point. Mm-hmm. Incredible.
Oh, man.
Incredible
I'm still
interview.
Just in awe of this man's energy, just in awe.
He really is an angel on earth. I really believe he is an angel walking around in this lifetime to deliver this message.
It was a great message to share.
I know,
open up, folks. Open up and receive and believe.
And believe. That's huge. Believe that this will work. Believe that humanity is not done. Believe in mankind. Believe in the faith that mankind will stand up and mankind will take the steps it needs in order to survive.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is so incredible. Believe in yourself, folks. That's the key. As he said, happiness isn't outside of self. Mm-mm. It is within.
Yeah.
And we simply have to seek within to find that which we seek.
Mm-hmm.
How simple can it be?
It's so simple. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Because we're so complex human beings that we overthink it. And there's nothing to overthink. Keep it simple, stupid, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, with that said, I think we'll go ahead and go to a break, and then we'll come back. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, everybody, don't go away. You're listening to The Broader View on the Hazy Radio Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Corruption to all that you touch. Hold, you behold, and beholden for all that you've done. Cast a spell on the kingdom you run, and risk all their lives and their souls, and burn, you will burn in hell, yeah, you burn in hell, you burn in hell, yeah, you burn in hell for your sins. Now freedom's consuming itself. What we've become is contrary to what we want. Take a
looking at the world through the wide-angle lens. It's The Broader View with Hazy and Belle Salisbury on the Hazy Radio Network. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Just to let you know, a special presentation of The Broader View with our very special guest, Benjamin Creme. And this interview will actually be aired later on The Broader View. But, Belle, you are going to air